the novel Vendor of Sweets by R.K. Narayan, here are some of the major characters. First is Jagan. Jagan is a protagonist, a widower, and a sweet shop owner, follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He is the main protagonist, the main actor, and he is a Hindu man in his 50s. He is a sweet meat maker, and the story revolves around him. Second is Mali. Mali is his son. He is a practical, a callous, commercially minded, a very practical kind of person who just remained ungrateful to his father throughout his lifetime. The next character is Grace. He is presented to Jagan as Mali's wife, but it was revealed later that it was untrue. Grace was half Korean and half American when Mali wanted to become a writer and he steals 10,000 rupees from his father and he runs to America. There he met Grace. Next character is Durai. He inspires Jagan to seek a life of solitude. The next character is Jagan's cousin. Now here cousin is a common character. He is related to everyone in southern Indian town of Malgudi. He is the voice of reason between father and son. He is very wise in the matter of personal relationship. He is a good listener and has a very good insight. The Vendor of Sweets is the story of a merchant, Jagan, who at the age of 60 still feels young at heart and makes good profit out of his sweet shop. Jagan is shown as the vendor of sweets in this story. Some waves come to his life when his son Mali returns from America with his Korean wife. Here the word waves mean the difficulties. Jagan is actually an orthodox Hindu man. He wanted to live a simple life, but Mali didn't want to follow his footsteps. He wanted to start his own business. He wanted to start up as writer, but Jagan didn't agree. Even cousin tried to persuade him, but nothing happened. So Mali one day decided that he will go to America and he will start living there. And when he moved there he met Grace and they started living together. And when he returned from there, then it was said that Grace is his wife. But actually it was proved a false statement later. And when Jagan come to know that the person Grace is not his wife, then he was very worried that how can they live together without being married, as it was against to the Hindu culture. Jagan tries to cope up with the situation with his conventional thoughts, but finally fails to do so because of his son's nature. The story thus well justified the title, that it is a lucid, a clear language, and description of the life of Jagan clearly entails, means involved in the story. Jagan actually tried his best to persuade Mali that he should live a very simple and honest life, but he failed. Even one day Mali admitted that he had even took beef as a meal and people of India should also eat meat to remove the problem of too many animals on the road. It shows his Western mentality, and these beliefs were against to the orthodox thinking of his father Jagan. And Jagan find it very difficult to live together with the family, with his son and daughter-in-law, those who are having the belief that they should consume meat, and that is very wrong to his culture and society. R.K. Narayan's books are always famous for wonderful details and intricate view of the South Indian world. The Vendor of Sweets is not an exception. It also fits into this mold in a beautiful manner. In this novel, the central character is Jagan, and the story revolves around him, his ideologies, his sweet shop, his son Mali, his cousin Narsimha, etc. He is the vendor of sweets here. His trials and tribulations of his life are wonderfully captured in this story. Now here the word trials and tribulations means the experiences that test a person's self-control. He just tried his best. Jagan tried his best to control his feelings when he was living with his son and daughter-in-law. Jagan ironically even said to his son when he asked for the permission to go to America that he wanted to become a writer and he wanted to get a degree from there. Then he gave the response, did Valmiki also go to America to learn how to write Ramayana? Then why he should need to visit a foreign country? But nothing happened. He moved there against the wish of his father and he also lived there with grace. There is clear description of his thoughts, his confusion about the next generation, and his confusion as well as conventional thought gets a jerks when his son Mali goes to America and returns with his foreigner wife. Jagan starts feeling irritated all the time because of his son's activity. But subsequently, Jagan develops affection, a loving relationship for his foreigner daughter in law. He notices that Mali, his son, is not paying full attention to his wife. Now, here the word conventional thought means related to culture, traditional thoughts, and the word jerks means when Jagan was full of confusion that how he will be able to cope up with the new life. Even here, Grace one day expressed her wish to cook for Jagan, but she come to know that he only have food cooked by himself. And here the main theme, generation gap, is described beautifully that how two generations can't live together peacefully and they can't cope up, they can't adjust with each other. Instead of living a flexible life, they are against to each other ideas and all the conventional thoughts come in their way to live together. Jagan gets scared as he did the same mistake with Mali's mother because of his involvement in freedom struggle movement. Jagan tries to talk to Mali but he denies. Mali needs some money for his business but Jagan refuses to lend him. As a result, some friction takes place and Jagan starts living isolated from his own family. The story turns to ending point when Jagan develops some urge to leave the worldly affairs and do some religious work. Actually, Jagan in this novel believed that he should not move to America because he believed that people living in America they consume alcohol and he don't like the nudity in the people those who are living in the western countries. Even Jagan's sister wrote a postcard to him and there she had written a beef eating Christian girl. This comment was about his daughter in law and he didn't like the behavior of his family members, of his relatives, that how can they behave like this. Actually, it was not his fault, it was the fault of his son, which he had to cope up with the society. At that very moment, he is informed that Mali is in police custody. He was caught by police for consuming alcohol in his green car. The green car was here symbol of materialistic things and the valuable things. and he has left his wife. Jagan, when come to know about this, then he gets shattered. He was very upset. Then he refused to help his son, but later he had to. Then he instructs Narsimha, the cousin, to help Mali's wife, Grace, to return to her homeland. He actually instructs him to book the tickets to her hometown. This story raised the issue of generation gap and the conflicts between them. This novel is based upon the conflict between the generations who are not at all ready to cope up with each other. They are not able to adjust with each other on account of their own values and their own terms and conditions. So, students, if you are interested in chapter wise summary or the questions based on novel, then do tell me in the comment box. Thank you.